I have a little gossipy question, and then I want to talk about what's helpful and not helpful to you guys. The little gossipy question is, I just am curious, when I reached out to either one of you, if you cared to share, what were your feelings or apprehension or whatever the emotion might be? What was it like prior to stepping on the show?
How prior? Like right before, or?
Meaning, anytime you want to care to share prior to you actually stepping into the show.
I stumbled over my words when you first Skyped me. I was like, who am I talking to right now?
You Skyped?
Yeah.
I was texting her.
I was like, what is going on? I was so confused.
Well, explain your mindset. Just explain the feeling, the raw, unprocessed emotions in that interaction.
I was excited. I was nervous. Hopeful?
Hopeful?
Yeah. That something would go beyond just that initial call. I didn't know what, because at that point when we first Skyped, there was no talk about being on the show or anything like that. You were just wondering why I was doing the logo studies. Uh-huh. So, yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment.
Okay. Rebecca?
Well, I remember we were on Twitter.
Yes, we were on Twitter.
You had asked, for someone possibly younger, and I said, hey, what about people in their 40s? What about us?
Right.
We have challenges too. So anyways, I was very excited. I think I jumped up and down a little bit.
You did change your mind,
yes.
by the way. Very rarely does that ever happen.
What?
You totally changed my mind.
Oh,
I was serious. I wanted a young pup because people were saying, Melinda's complaining. She's so far ahead of where we are. We need somebody we can relate to.
The exact opposite.
And it went the exact opposite, because when you said, this is who I am, this is where I'm at in my career, I was thinking, I believe that hits a large part of our demo too.
I think it does. I
Right?
think there are a lot of people. I know tons of people right now that are trying to go through career changes. So,
that's right.
So I ended up, you said, we didn't Skype, but I sent in a little iPhone video.
Yes, I asked you to send me a video of yourself talking on camera.
I'm so glad I didn't have to do that.
And I just said, what the heck, I'm going to do it. I don't care what it looks like. I'm going to throw on some makeup and just shot it over.
Right.
And I was very excited to be here. I felt like it would be a turning point in my life.
Okay, and I hope it's going to be.
Yeah, I think it has been.
Great. Super. Okay, let's wrap up the third part of this episode. Let's talk about what was helpful to you and maybe what was not so helpful. Okay? Mm-hmm. Who wants to go first?
Do you have anything on the top of your head?
I can go first.
All right. I'm going to get the long list ready. Okay. Go ahead.
The most helpful was dropping the smaller clients to aim for the bigger ones. So being more intentional about landing the larger clients and larger projects, and not necessarily worrying if I have a dip in my income for a while. That money is not the main focus anymore. That the higher paying jobs are, but it's also it's changing my mindset that I have to give value to my clients and actually helping them reach their goals and why they're doing what they're doing, instead of my focus being, I need to pay my bills, or I just need to land this for money.
Yeah, it's a scarcity mindset.
So that was, I would say, the most helpful, because then that led me into strategy, and that led me into the initial calls. And so it started there and it snowballed into the rest. The least helpful, none of your coaching is unhelpful. There was one comment that I wish would have been talked about in a different way, or I guess it wasn't as helpful to me in that moment, was just adding an extra hour of work. And although I do work more than I used to, that I think it's how I work as well, because I could add 2-3 more hours and not be productive as I would be if I just managed the time I had better. So, and that was we just skimmed over it super quick. It was like, just add more time. But it also made me think, then how am I actually spending that time that I do have? I want to make it count.
Did you do the focus worksheet yet?
I have done the focus worksheet, yeah. So it was just, I wish we would have talked about how to be more productive with my time, but in the end, I did work it out, and I was using the focus worksheet, and so it's not that it wasn't helpful, it's just...
I get it.
That's all.
Thank you.
So for me, the most helpful, I mean, we ended up going off a totally different route than I expected. I felt like I should be on a therapist couch for a couple of my sessions.
Right.
But it did help to look at, to just, it was a turning point for me when we talked about how I need to open up and have small talk with people, and that being more, it just makes it easier for me now when I am trying to do business. I feel like I'm more comfortable and I don't worry as much about what I say. And so you helped me just, I think, with my mindset. So that was very helpful. And of course, I continue to watch the videos that are online, and charging more for my work has been helpful. And what else? What hasn't been helpful? I still question going after some of the smaller businesses, because I think that was one of your. I am still kind of going after them, but I still want larger business. I'd like to get a business that's like $25,000 for a project.
You can.
Rather than $7,000 for a project. I want to get 25 minimum for a website than 7. I know it's not much of a difference, but
no, it's a big difference.
But
I like the $25 million client too, but we got to start somewhere.
I'm still aiming for that 25 for a website.
All right. Anything else that wasn't helpful before I?
No.
Okay.
Everything's. It's all been helpful.
Okay.
Were you embrace and pivot?
No, there's no such thing.
We know your tricks now.
Shut the front door. You don't know my tricks. So now I watch. Look, you're like a green belt, all right? Let's not even go crazy yet. All right. Now you're looking for all my tricks, huh?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dropping small clients. Let's talk about that. So you're shedding some clients because you need to make room for yourself.
Yes.
And they're not really, at the end of the day, if you really think about it, they're not worth your effort anyways.
Right.
Okay. As you go up the scale of clients in terms of their budget, their stature, where they are, so the closer they are to the Fortune 100, the fewer of them there are, and the harder it is to get through their gatekeepers. It's very difficult. So at the bottom, there's tons of opportunity everywhere, but the pay isn't good. So the issue is really finding a balance between what kind of pay you want versus the number of clients. So if you're me, you're going big game hunting. We want 6-7 figure jobs, and there's only a few of them out there. But once you get one, you can feast for some time. Mm-hmm. That's critical. And we just have to kind of find where you're comfortable and where you're really effective. And just be a little bit patient with yourself, that even though you had these goals to hit 10, 20, 50, 60, 80, $100,000 jobs, it takes time. And it's okay for it to take time. The first website we designed in the modern era, not like the first 2 years in business, we did it for $5,000. That included design, development, a little bit of writing, image sourcing, all that kind of stuff. And that was a lot of work. At that point in time, I thought, wow, this sucks. I don't want to do this. It's terrible. So the very next website we got to design, I think it was something in the $20,000 range, and it just kept going up. But I didn't give up then. I just wrote down, like, these are things we never want to do again. And that's good that you're integrating that into your process, Melinda, like after a new business call, that you're able to say, what did I do well? What can I do better? And just keep working on that.
The other thing is also getting on a call with my peak performance partner and say, hey, this is what just happened on the call. What are your thoughts? This is what I took out of it, and where I could, and so getting another person's perspective too helps a lot.
It does. And this is the reason why we created the communities that we have, is because most of us are isolated in our world, and we have no one to talk to. So we have no idea, did I do it right? Am I driving myself crazy? Or this wasn't a figment of my imagination. I really do need to do these things, and this is what's helped. Okay? Intentional, focus, give value to your client. All those things are very good. The mindset is the biggest thing. And really, your session and mine is really just as direct as possible when it comes to mindset. You come in with an agenda, and as soon as we start talking, it's like that goes out the door, and we will just talk and work on you. With Melinda, it's more actionable, but it's still mindset. It's just described as do this, 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 and that. In order to do that, she has to change her mindset around it, to value her time, to become more conscientious of how she's spending time and how she can be more productive. the net summary of it was she needed to do more. So if she wasn't going to add more time, she needed to use her time better. And that was her issue. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you guys will realize something perhaps, that when I say I work hard, and I expect people to work hard if they want to get what other people don't have, that do live and breathe this. So you guys will have to find your own balance. But for me, it's a never-ending endeavor. And I don't mind. This is what I love to do. And I was just going to say something, that I've learned to love making a difference more than making things. And that's why I'm fueled by what it is that we do. When I say making things, like making a logo, making a package or identity system, that now I'd rather make a difference. That's the thing I'd like to make. Okay, any closing thoughts, guys?
I just wanted to comment on what you just said. I mean, that's also one of the things that I like about being a part of this community, is that it does feel like you're making a difference in people's lives, and I see it on the Facebook pages, and I like being a part of that and being able to when people post their websites or have questions, I like to be able to respond back to them, so that I am doing more than just making a logo. I'm being part of the community and helping others, and I like
it's
that about it.
It's a good feeling, right?
It is. It's a very good feeling.
You don't have to be alone in this endeavor of pursuing a creative career.
And no matter what level you're at your career, there's always something to give or to get, is being a part of this community.
That's right. Great. Well said.
I also feel that to me, it's how college should have been. Like, people are actually...
Where'd you go to school again?
Cal State Fullerton.
Cal State Fullerton. Keep going.
But that people are there and participating because they want to, not because they're just trying to earn their degree to land the job to XYZ. They're just there for themselves.
Right.
But that you make yourself available, and then everyone is available for each other, and we all want to be there, and we all are pushing each other forward. We're encouraging each other. And there were people like that in college, but it wasn't to this degree.
Right.
And I think because we don't have that expectation, whether it's from parents or from just ourselves, of earning that degree, we're there because we want to learn and we want to move forward in our career. So to me, it's how school should have been.
Yeah. Not only in your careers, but in your personal development.
Yeah, I think it's because they're looking at it as individual classes that are part of some kind of system, and not looking at it holistically and saying, what does the 21st century creative need to have? And I think it's to be able to use the whole mind, not just the right brain, but the left brain, and to put those two things together.
Yeah, you're feeling a nice need. You're feeling a need that's not there.
Right. Okay. Well, I want to thank you both for coming on the show. And it was super fun to do. To be able to have you two guys do this thing. Is there anything you want to attack me on, or anything that you want to try and like?
No, we'll probably just have coffee again, and we'll catch up.
You'll conspire again.
We'll conspire again behind scenes.
Okay. Thanks so much for being on the show, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you check out both these ladies. We will include their URL down in the link below. Thank you very much. See you guys next time.